Good afternoon, YouTube stacking community. Florida Stacker back here with you, and welcome to today's collaboration video with rAgtAg Stacking. Stay tuned to this video because in today's video, you're going to hear two perspectives from some fairly new stackers on some of the first silver purchases that we made and how we've adjusted as our stacking knowledge has increased, kind of our lessons learned, and what we would recommend to anyone out there kind of getting started in stacking today from an American as well as a Canadian perspective. So stay tuned, more to come. All right, YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. So what you see in front of you here today is 100 troy ounces of silver, okay? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 stacks. Each stack contains 5 troy ounces of silver. So there are 55 American Silver Eagles in front of you. I've also got 2 10-ounce silver bars. Now, this one here is a British Britannia silver bar, and this one here on the right is a silver bar from the Royal Canadian Mint, the RCM silver bar. We'll talk more about that here in a second. And then lastly, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rolls of 90% silver dimes. Each roll of 90% silver dimes is 3.575 troy ounces of silver. So when you take that number and multiply it by 7, you get 25 troy ounces of silver. So a quick recap here, we have 55 ounces of American Silver Eagles, 2 10-ounce bars, that puts us at 75 ounces, and 25 ounces in 90% silver dimes, which today, as I'm recording this video, is a very good foundation for anyone in the United States of America to begin stacking silver coins. And I'll talk to you about why that is. Then, when I'm done with that, we'll take a break and we'll go over to rAgtAg Stacking, and we'll hear a little bit about his history and how he got started in stacking, some of his first purchases, and also some advice for Canadian stackers today on how they can maximize their fiat currency, turning it into silver, right? And maintaining their wealth in the silver metal. So I'm going to quickly go ahead and show this little sticky note for you guys. You can pause this video, come back to it. Once more, your first 100 ounces, if you're here in the United States and you want to build a foundation as a physical tangible savings account, okay? I'm not talking about a collection here. This is not a collection of coins. This is liquid money, all right? So I recommend 55 ounces of your sovereign nation coin, and here in the United States, that's going to be the American Silver Eagle. I'd recommend 20 ounces in 10 ounce or 5 ounce if you prefer. That would be 4 silver bars if you go for the 5 ounce version. Silver bars because you do want something that's a little bit heavier, that carries a little bit more value in one singular package. And then if you're going with the dimes, you can kind of mix this up, but $35 in face value. So you could do, a roll of $half, 2 roll of quarters, and 1 roll of dimes. You can really mix it up any way you want. $35 face value in quarters, dimes, or $half is going to equal 25 troy ounces of silver. So there's the calculations down below. Once more, $5 in face is 3.575 troy ounces, and $10 in face is approximately 7.15 troy ounces. So when you add it all up together, you have 100 troy ounces of silver. And with a spot price now of around about $24 and change, not taking premiums into account, you see roughly $2,400 to $2,500 in silver laying on the table here in front of you. And it's really not that big. It's really not that big. Yes, silver does take up a whole lot more space than gold. However, this first 100 ounces here is not that big. So now I'm going to show you another sticky note, and then we'll go ahead and jump over to rAgtAg, and then we'll come back over to the Florida Stacker side of things to close out this video. Here are the primary reasons why I went with the configuration that you see in front of you here today. Number one, the number one rule for a new stacker that is not looking to just collect, right, and just have an assortment to sample. Here, let me just, you can buy random silver coins and you can put them in these coin capsules and you can collect all the cool stuff that you want. However, in doing so, buying capsules, buying foreign silver coins, buying low mintage or some special collector series, even if it's generic silver, you're going to be paying a much higher premium, and there are going to be coin shops and people out there that more people than with what you see here in front of you today that are not going to be interested in buying that silver. They're going to prefer to buy something like this. So number one is liquidity. When you're beginning to build your stack, you really need to think about liquidity. And liquidity is how easy is it for you to sell and convert your silver back into your nation's local currency, okay? Or any other, maybe you're bartering, trading, whatever. But for purposes of simplicity on this YouTube video here, liquidity, I'm referring to how quickly you can convert your silver back to cash. Because if we're using this as a savings account right outside of the banking system, you want to hold your money in your hands. You also want to be able to reconvert that back over to cash fairly easily and get as much value for your silver as you possibly can. Perhaps you have a medical expense, any kind of expense, doesn't matter. Whatever your reasons are, those reasons are yours for selling your silver back to an individual or local coin shop. You're going to want liquidity. The second thing is you really need to consider, especially here in the United States, as well as elsewhere, low to no sales tax. Now, I'm fortunate to live in a red state, and red states, regardless of your political beliefs, do have more favorable tax laws for stacking. It is what it is. Okay, and here in Florida, fortunately, I have pretty low sales tax implications on silver bullion. I'll explain what they are to you right now. When I purchase an American Silver Eagle or 90% constitutional silver online or at my local coin shop, I do not pay sales tax. There is no sales tax. If I were to purchase this 10-ounce silver bar or this 10-ounce Britannia silver bar from my local coin shop, I would pay sales tax, and that sales tax here is 6.5%. And the reason is that the law states that any foreign silver purchase under $500 in value is subject to sales tax. So how a coin shop like my two local coin shops get around that is they tend to only be interested in buying foreign silver from me if I'm selling them an entire roll of 25 troy ounces of silver coins, right? So here, let's grab... So if I had a full roll of these Britannias here, for instance, right? These are from the United Kingdom. My coin shop would want me to sell him the whole roll because he's going to want to turn around and sell that whole roll to a customer of his and not actually sell each of these beautiful Britannia silver coins individually. And the reason behind that is because he's going to have to charge that customer sales tax, right? Because buying one of these, even if it came with a $2 to $3 premium, which is pretty standard on this coin, it's still only going to be $27, $28 based on a $24 spot price. So he's going to have to charge sales tax. So he would much rather buy small quantities of generic silver because similar to American silver here in the United States, and more particularly here in Florida, because each state is a little bit different, these do not incur sales tax, right? So generic, American, totally good. However, when it comes to your foreign silver, you got to pay attention to, here, let's go ahead and move these generic rounds out of the way so we can stay focused on our 100 ounces here. You want to limit your exposure to foreign silver unless, of course, you're collecting. You like to, maybe purchase a couple of coins from the different countries out there. Go ahead, do that. You want to stack a tube of Maple Leafs, a stack of Britannias, a tube. I think that's not a bad idea, okay? Especially if they're on sale or you're someone that just wants to have a more diverse silver stack. But when it comes to the core nucleus, the backbone, the base of your silver stack, I believe that having a little bit more than 50% of that first 100 ounces in 1 troy ounce silver coins, having your fractional silver. Now, these are in rolls, but you can break these rolls open, right? And you can sell, a dollar face, 50 cents face, whatever it is. If you need a few bucks in return, you can break that out. If it ever comes to some type of bartering situation, I'm fairly well covered here, right? With 1 ounce, 10 ounce, and also fractional silver. So, you could expand upon this and go all the way out to 500 ounces, whatever you want. But for your first 100 ounces, this is my recommendation. So Some of the mistakes that I made before we get over to rAgtAg, and please stay with us because he's got a lot of good stuff to talk about. Some of the mistakes that I made were just buying small amounts of foreign silver, like 3 or 4 Maple Leafs, 3 or 4 Britannias, 3 or 4 Krugerrands, and just having this wide assortment of silver. And then when I got into my first situation as a new stacker where I overstacked, right? I think most of us have been there, unless, of course, you're a much more, how should I say, careful stacker than I was, and I consider myself to be pretty careful. I did buy a lot of stuff that when I went to sell because I had overstacked and I needed to get some cash because I had some expenses come up, I had a hard time selling those little lots of foreign silver coins, okay? Of course, I did sell them, but I didn't get the price that I should have gotten for them, and there was definitely reluctance from both of my local coin shops in purchasing those silver coins. So let's go ahead and kick on over to rAgtAg stacking now. Let's get some insights from him, and then we'll return to close out this video.
Hey everyone, it's rAgtAg Stacking. I'd like to thank Florida Stacker for this opportunity to work with him on this video. I thought it was a pretty cool idea. And just going to jump right into it here with the first 100 ounces that I purchased. And every little bit here, every little chunk is a purchase. So you can see I was kind of all over the place when I first started. And actually these first two up here, this first two 15 ounces, that was actually well before I started watching YouTube videos and considering stacking. My buddy told me about it. He said that he was picking up some silver and gold, and I thought, I'll get into it as well. So I made those first two purchases and then forgot about it or didn't really follow up on it until, December 2019, heading into early winter this year. And I asked him if he was still doing it, and he's not. He's dropped it. He's not doing any of the precious metals anymore. But my interest was piqued a little bit, just seeing what was going on with some of the metals and remembering what he was telling me. And then I got into watching some of the stacking videos on YouTube, and that's when everything changed for me. Watching some of the videos talking about their stacking strategies, especially Florida Stacker. If you've watched any of my recent videos, you can see that I've adopted a lot of my strategy from his, what he does, a lot of the tube challenges and things like that. High liquid things, not a lot of high premium stuff. That was kind of the stuff that I fell into on my first 100 ounces. Like you can see here, it's all random. Like I got a Scottsdale and a 5 ounce together. Then the next purchase was just a Buffalo round with a 10 ounce bar. You can see the next one was a random round 5 ounce bar, 10 ounce bar. And then that's when I started to see more videos talking about the sovereign nation coins are more liquid over the, say, the generic bars and things like that. So they're saying a lot of people are saying that their main stack or the base of their stack is their sovereign nation country coin. A lot of stackers are in America, so that's the Silver Eagle. For me, it's the Canadian Maple Leaf. So in the next purchase, I went and I wanted to start two tubes actually. So I picked up 5 Maple Leafs and 5 Britannias. And if you've watched my videos, you know that I've been working on the Britannias. I filled the Maple Leaf. So down here on the next purchase, I went with 5 more of the Maple Leafs to continue that tube and started up another tube of the Silvertown Buffalo rounds. Then I caught a sale on these Mickey Mouse coins here from Niue. So I just picked up 5 of those. Here, these are my first couple of purchases from eBay. This is this dragon coin here that I like. The 2020? Yeah, the 2021 Queen's Beast, and then 3 of these reverse maples I picked up from eBay. And the last purchase that put me over the 100 ounces was this America the Beautiful Vicksburg coin here. And another 10 ounce bar, and then 2 more of these Buffalo rounds. So that officially got me to the 100 ounces. And it wasn't too bad. I didn't go heavy on the high premium stuff. I mean, this is probably the highest premium thing that I purchased was these 2 privateer coins. My first purchase and second purchase. I like the look of these. It did have a heavy premium, so I didn't pick up many of them. And even without stacking and all that stuff, I could see on the websites that not all the silver was obviously priced the same. So I could see that the rounds to the coins were a bit cheaper and all that stuff. So I wasn't tempted by all that high premium stuff, thankfully. But like I said before, I've definitely changed up the way that I stack. And one of the biggest things that you'll notice missing here, but you've been seeing in a lot of my videos recently, is the junk silver. My first 100 ounces of silver, you will not see any pieces of junk silver here. Didn't get into it until a little bit later. But since I did, I'm hooked on it now, whether it's US or Canadian. Those are the main ones that I've been picking up, and I get them on eBay. So I get those eBay bucks to go along with it. And it's win-win. It's some of the cheapest silver that you can buy, as towards, the closest to spot price that you can buy when you're getting when you're making your purchases. So it's a win-win, especially with these Canadian dollars. Like I said, living up in Canada, up on eBay, these have been a great deal. The dollars and the half dollars here. These are the Canadian half dollars that I've picked up as well. These are 80%. The half dollars here, the pre-1921s, they're actually sterling silver. So they're 92.5% instead of the 80. But yeah, that's definitely the main thing that I have added to my stacking strategy, is getting as much junk silver as I can. As I said, these are Walkers and some Benjamins there. I love the half dollars, and I can't believe it took me so long to finally get into picking up junk silver, but I like to do that as much as I can, going on eBay. I do go on to Silver Gold Bull and TD Precious Metals primarily, are the two sites that I use up in Canada. Anything that I order from the States, it's a minimum, $20 shipping, so I don't really do it because it kind of doesn't make sense to pay that shipping with how much I'm picking up. And so anytime I can, I like to pick up this junk silver. I have picked up some off of Silver Gold Bull as well. The TD Precious Metals doesn't have it, but I have picked up some half dollars on those sites as well. But yeah, that's just a little video here talking about the first 100 ounces. Like I was saying, can't believe it took me so long to get into junk, because it's definitely part of my base. Part of the base of my stack is the Sovereign Nation coins, some generic silver like these Buffalo rounds here, just to get some weight, and then on the fractional side, picking up as much junk as I can. But that's it for me. Like I said, again, I would like to thank the Florida Stacker for the chance to do this video with him. He's one of those channels that he was the first handful of channels that got me into stacking, and he's really knowledgeable. I like watching all of his videos. Very clear, concise. It's awesome watch. You guys know it. You guys have been following him just as long as I have. Most of you have probably been following him for longer than I have. But you know how much of a great guy he is. And again, thank you for the opportunity to do this with you. And that is it for me. So thank you, everyone. And now I get back to Florida Stacker.
All right, everybody, I do encourage you, if you like what you heard, I'm going to try to pick this sticker back up here, to head on over to rAgtAg Stacking's channel and subscribe to his channel. He has got such great content. He's got a really nice stack that, is really grassroots. He's really grown his stack from a small stack, very similar to my stack, to something that I feel like he and many people would be very proud of having, converting that much of your savings over to real money, to gold and silver. So if you haven't yet done so, please go over to rAgtAg Stacking's channel, hit that subscription button, hit that thumbs up button on his videos, and show him some support, because he's definitely an asset to the stacking community. So we're going to go ahead and close this video out with number 3, and number 3 is low premium over spot. Okay, now I know some of you right now are going, but you've got 55 troy ounces of American Silver Eagles. Okay, so if you've been stacking for less than a year, you're probably a little concerned by that low premium statement. But if you were stacking more than a year ago, there was a time when you could pick up American Silver Eagles for about $2 to $2.75 or so, maybe $3 over spot. And nowadays, that's a pretty sweet deal. But back then, it's a high premium. Sure, it's a higher premium, but it's not nearly as bad as it used to be. And if you've been paying attention to your coin shop as well as your online dealers lately, I've seen Canadian Maple Leafs going at a higher price than American Silver Eagles. I feel like the premiums on American Silver Eagles have come down somewhat, but the premiums on the foreign silver and generic silver have come up quite a bit as compared to how things were when the big silver drop happened in March and you saw premiums on American Silver Eagles really skyrocket, which, in my opinion, all right, that was a test. That was a test of stacking. And we saw that gold and silver sold off, especially silver, due to the pandemic and the shutdowns and all the stuff that's going on. And what maintained its premium? The American Silver Eagle, okay? They were wanting $6, $7, $8, $9, $10 for each individual American Silver Eagle. And guess what? People were paying it, okay? Now, most of you watching this video today, you're probably more intelligent than that. You probably didn't pay $8, $9, $10 for 1 troy ounce of silver. But there are a lot of people out there who did, okay? And you got to remember that these dealers are businesses. Just like you like to make money, so do they. So they're going to charge what people are willing to pay, and they're going to put whatever label, whatever excuse, and I'm sure there is some truth attached to that, but this is 2020, and I think we know that there were people out there that were definitely in a position and capable of taking advantage of the average consumer, and they did. Okay, so hopefully you didn't get beat up too bad on premiums during 2020. But nowadays the Silver Eagle premiums, they've come down a little bit, and everything else has really gone up. So the American Silver Eagle again is the most attractive 1 troy ounce silver coin to purchase here in the United States. So to wrap everything up, please head over to rAgtAg Stacking channel at the end of this video if you have not done so already, and subscribe and support him and see what he has to say. Lots of great information. And also remember that when building your base, the foundation of your silver stack, liquidity, low to no sales tax, and low premium over spot are important. You can bring your dollar cost average down if you're purchasing American Silver Eagles by going a little bit more heavy on the 90%, which does carry the lowest premium. And obviously, when buying these silver bars, try to look for them online if you're in a state that has sales tax on these things like mine, because I can currently purchase these from APMEX, JM Bullion, SD Bullion, you name it, without sales tax. Or even better, just go ahead and substitute the Britannia or the RCM silver bar for a generic 10-ounce silver bar, and you'll be in much better shape. All right, everybody, that concludes this video. Thank you for tuning in today. I appreciate all of your support, and we'll see you soon on another stacking video.